Hej alle sammen. For et par dage siden der tog jeg til Norge for at prøve Uncharted 4, som udkommer her den 10. maj. Og det kom der et lille, meget lærerigt, synes jeg, interview ud af med Ricky, som er lead designer på Uncharted 4. Og han har blandt andet også arbejdet på The Last of Us. Så hvis I vil vide lidt mere om spillet, men også vide en lille smule om spilindustrien, så se med her.
So I am the lead designer on Uncharted 4. So that means I work very closely with the game director, Bruce Straley, and the creative director, Neil Druckmann, and then with a team of designers to make the game. So we kind of outline what the story is going to be, and then what are some of the gameplay elements we want to explore, what are some of the places we want to go, and what are the layouts that are going to support both those places and the story objectives, and then we iterate and make them. So I'll give feedback to the team, and then we'll iterate again maybe with the directors, and we just kind of keep going in this loop of working on the game and making it better, and then I'll even go in and own certain sections of the game to work on myself and push forward and make sure we're just kind of exploring what is possible in Uncharted 4.
So you have been working on The Last of Us before, and this is the first time, I guess, working on an Uncharted game. So how was that like changing from one game to another like that?
Changing games was a little challenging for the team to kind of remember that, okay, we're back in Uncharted, which means we can go really big. We can have these big set pieces, these big explosions. We're kind of where The Last of Us was very grounded. This is kind of a stylized reality, so we can exaggerate things more and play with that and enjoy that. But it was also, we could learn some things from The Last of Us in terms of some of the more subtler storytelling and being able to sometimes slow down, and how nice it is just sometimes to take a walk with a character and get to know a little bit more about them through a simple conversation. It's kind of a unique challenge to start out and say, we're going to do the last chapter of Nathan Drake, and we're going to bring his story to a close. And what does that mean? We had to go back and look at all the stories before and look at where was he at the end of Uncharted 3? What had he been through? Those things we've kind of hinted at in terms of his past, maybe going there and revealing some of that to really show who he is. And yeah, that was all a challenge, and it all meant that this was going to be a Thief's End.
So you are bringing back old characters, but you're also introducing new characters to the fourth installment. Can you tell us something about these new characters?
Yeah, well, let's talk about his brother. So here's someone that Nate thought that he lost a long time ago. And this is somebody that was, really important to him when he was young. This is his older brother. And you'll get to see many of the ways in which Sam influenced who Nate is. And at the start of Uncharted, Nate's retired. He's said that he's given up this life of adventure. It's just too risky. He wants to, he wants to spend time with Elena. He wants to not, be getting shot at. But turns out Sam's alive. And not only is Sam alive, he has information about where Henry Avy's treasure might be. And this is something they've been looking for since kids. And that's not quite enough to pull Nate back in, even though a treasure like that seems like it would be, but Sam's also in trouble. And so when faced with that, Nate's like, okay, he's going to help his brother out. And this kind of kicks off the start of this adventure. And just being able to bring someone in from Nate's past allows us to go back and look at some of that formation and look at some of the stuff he's been hiding, because even in the trailer we released already, you see that he never even told Elena about Sam. And that's, I don't know, I think that's kind of important. That's kind of something that maybe at a quick glance people didn't notice, but it's kind of important.
So a great hero really needs great antagonists. So who are the antagonists and what are their motives?
So you get, you're definitely going to learn a lot more about their motives, but what we've hinted at so far is just that there's a bit of a history with the Drake brothers and Rafe. So this is something they know. So this is something that this treasure is a little bit personal for all of them, and that excites me. And as I, as we continue development, because I think something that's personal for somebody makes it a bit more risky. Means just how far they're willing to go. And Rafe is a very capable treasure hunter, and he has comes from a lot of money, so that means he's got the support of Nadine, and that means that they bring a lot of firepower with their shoreline group. So these are kind of the people you're going to face throughout some of these combat sequences, and these are the people that are also on their way trying to find this treasure.
So when you're building such a giant game, how do you make a team work together to achieve the same goal?
It's very challenging. I think it's a lot about keeping people kind of informed with what we're going for and what the goals are. Allowing people to. One thing that's always really important at Naughty Dog is making sure people know they can always come up to the design department or anywhere and ask questions or give suggestions. More often than not is what they're doing, and that's what we appreciate the most, is coming over. Early on when kind of had to look at the overall direction of the game, sent out as much information to the different departments and had kind of team meetings to just kind of let people know what the story was, where we're going, what the goals were, and then we'll do things like when we start to get ready for E3 and kind of show off moments of these, which become these little glimpses of what the game's going to be, that we make sure everyone sees that and we all get pretty excited, and that kind of keeps the team going and aligned on what the overall vision is.
So I was looking around the entire game, or the tidbit we were giving earlier, and in the Uncharted 3 game there were some hints around teased Uncharted. Are there any things like that we might stumble across in Uncharted 4?
I think all I really want to say about that is it's going to be worth your time to go look around.
All right, so that kind of brings me to another question. So you were talking a bit about open linear world, and the Uncharted games have been quite linear in the past. Can you tell me a little bit more about this?
The language we've kind of applied to some of these new areas is this wide linear, right? So this idea that, so you still, in this example of being in the plains of Madagascar, you're heading towards this volcano and you're looking for these towers, but now you get to drive the Jeep just one of many ways that you want to get there, and depending which way you choose, you might find different set of ruins, or find different clues, or find different conversations, and I think that's all pretty cool and rewards you for this sense of exploration. And this is also kind of true in even some of the traversal sections, even without the Jeep, when that feeling just when you're exploring a space that do you want to go in this building or around this one or over this one or through this one or upstairs in this one, it reminds me of that feeling you get when you go on a hike or something with your friends or something, and you might be climbing on some boulders that you could maybe squeeze through this one here and then see your friend climb over this way or do something and you kind of get this sense that yes we're all going that way, right? And we're all going to head towards the top of this thing, but how we get there, we have so many choices, and that feels a little bit like that exploration.
Do you have a question that you wished you would have been asked?
This is your moment to have that one question that I've always wanted to have been asked. No, come on, you've got to bring. What's the one question you've always wanted to ask the developer?
So you must been really scared right now, because it's such an immensely great game and people are so excited to play it. So what are you most afraid of actually?
Oh, what am I most afraid of? I guess there's a fear that people don't love it, right? That people don't, we've decided to end this franchise, this character. What if they're not satisfied? That would be terrible. Yeah, and this is kind of this unique period between, we've finished and now, but fans don't have it yet. Or I'm afraid like people just don't. Actually, I'm okay if some people really don't like it, because maybe some people don't. But I'd be more scared, I guess, if like people just thought it was like, like, oh well, yeah, that happened. Okay, that would be terrible.
I'm really sure that I will like it though, so I'm really looking forward to playing it. Do you have any more questions? No, I don't think so, actually. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. I'm really looking forward to the game when it releases on the 10th of May, and thank you so much again for talking to us.
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys.
Hvad synes I om interviewet, og hvad synes I generelt om Uncharted 4? Skriv ned i kommentarerne, jeg vil meget gerne læse, hvad I synes om spillene, og om I glæder jer til den 10. maj, hvor det fulde spil endelig udkommer. Tusind tak, fordi I så med, og husk som altid at give videoen en like, og vi ses i en video ude i fremtiden. Hej hej.
Abonner på vores kanal og hjælp os meget gerne ved at dele vores videoer med dine venner.